Hello students, welcome to my channel, that's English Institute. Today I shall elaborate for you a pie chart. The three pie charts are showing expenditure made by a UK school on different categories. School has spent on teachers' salaries, insurance, other workers' salaries, resources such as books, and on furniture and equipments. So means there are 5 sectors, you can say, or 5 heads on which school has spent its income. Now we have to see on which category the income has been spent the highest and on which category the income has been spent lowest. Behind me on the screen, now you can see a table. This is a rough work which you can also do for a pie chart. For every pie chart, I would recommend you to make a table which will make the things easy for you. After making this table which you can see on the screen, I have divided the years 1981, 1991 and 2001, and on the top I have mentioned 5 categories which are teacher salaries, insurance, other worker salaries, resources, and at last furniture and equipment. So before you write a pie chart, what the students need to do is they need to understand very well that on which sector, on which category school has made maximum expenditure and the minimum expenditure, as well as during these 30 years, 3 decades, on which the expenditure has been increasing continuously and on which the expenditure has been decreasing continuously. This is very important for the students to note that there would be some common features. We have to write a university report and we have to mention only the common features. So the main features, beginning with, if you see insurance, the expenditure of the school was 2% in 1981, 3% in 91, and it reached 8% in 2001. So means school has made an increment to spend on insurance. School has spent more amount in 1991 and in 2001 as compared to 1981, which was 1% higher in 1991, and at last which was 4 times higher. 2 into 4 is equal to 8%. To 4 times higher, I would say, which was 4 times higher than 1981 when school spent on insurance in 2001. Contradictory to this, opposite to this, you can see the expenditure on other workers' salaries. So it was 28% in 1981, it reduced to 22% in 1991, and last it reduced to 15% in 2001. So I can say, or you can clearly see that expenditure which was 28%, it reduced by 6% after 10 years, and it further reduced by 13% as compared to 1981 in 2001. So this was constantly decreasing, whereas expenditure on insurance was constantly increasing. So these are contradictory to each other. Except this, if you look at teachers' salaries and spending on resources, the expenditure increased during the first 10 years. It increased by 10% in case of teachers' salaries, whereas it increased half to that, means 5% on resources. But coming on to the next 10 years, the expenditure on salaries, teachers' salaries reduced by 5%, whereas the expenditure on resources reduced by 11%. You can form a table from a pie chart, and finally you can see the common trends and then finally start writing. Now coming on to our last expenditure, considering it, furniture and equipment. In this case, the expenditure in 1991 as compared to 1981 reduced. It reduced by 10%, but after that it nearly increased 5 times. Why I am saying nearly? Because 5 5s are 25, it has been given 23%. So students, we can see that it increased by nearly 5 times. So this is how you have to explain the graph. Coming on to the intro, I would like to tell you, you can mention mostly what the students do. They take the line from the top of the graph. The following graph shows, and after that they change the show, they change it into reveal. The following graph reveals, and the remaining they copy from that statement which has already been given. I think we should not do that. Instead of this, in this particular pie chart, which you can say that UK school has spent on 5 categories at a difference of a decade during the 3 years 1981, 1991 and 2001. So this is how to form your own line. Now coming on to the striking factor or overall analysis, which is to be mentioned in the second paragraph, in which no figures are mentioned. You can say the school has spent the maximum amount on teacher salaries, whereas school has spent the lowest amount on insurance. You can see yourself in the table or in the chart that the maximum spending by the school is on teacher salaries, whereas the minimum spending is on insurance. Before I end up this video, I want to say to all of you, it's never done until and unless you practice yourself. आपको खुद प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी. ये मेरा एक वीडियो एक मोटिवेशन आपके लिए कि दैट हाउ टू डू इट, आपको कैसे करना है. आपको ये वीडियो देखकर नॉलेज मिल सकती है, वे मिल सकता है, मोटिवेशन मिल सकती है, बट until and unless you practice yourself, आप खुद बैठोगे, आप खुद करोगे, ये तभी होगा, उसके पहले ये नहीं होगा. When you will make it your own duty to perform like this, and you will practice till that time, until and unless you gain perfection on how to write it perfectly, you are not going to get it. तो आपको ये चीज़ पकड़नी ही पड़ेगी कि आपको ये चीज़ अपने आप में बिठानी ही पड़ेगी कि आपको इसको फॉलो करना है, कि आप रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस करते हैं और आप श्योर करते हैं कि आपने एक्यूरेसी हासिल कर ली है, कि जब आपके सामने आता है तो आप रफ वर्क भी अच्छे से करते हैं, आप वर्ब के सिनोनिम्स भी अच्छे से सोच लेते हैं, एंड फाइनली आप उसको 20 मिनट्स के अंदर लिख देते हैं. थैंक यू.